Most of you are probably familiar with grape wine, and many of you know it mainly as red wine or white wine. But did you know there's actually another style of grape wine? Yes, amber wine. Today, in this video, we're going to talk about this type of wine, what it is, and how you can make it at home. Hi my friends, and welcome to Shon's Homemade Drinks. If you're new here, on this channel you can find step-by-step tutorials for making all kinds of alcoholic drinks at home, including wine, vodka, brandy, cognac, whiskey, beer, different cocktails, and also beginner-friendly guides about equipment, tools, and how to use them properly. The main focus of this channel is simple. Anyone, even a complete beginner, should be able to make their favorite drink at home using simple and affordable equipment. So make sure to remember this channel. Today we're talking about amber wine, what it is, and how to make it. Amber wine is technically a type of white wine, and it can be made using regular white grapes or grapes that have a slightly orange color. But the big difference between amber wine and classic white wine is this. White wine is usually light, fresh, and delicate. Amber wine, on the other hand, is much closer to red wine. It has a stronger, deeper, and more complex flavor. And that all comes from the production method, which we're about to do together. So, let's get started. Ingredients. First, keep in mind that this recipe is for 20 liters of amber wine. You can scale the quantities up or down based on your needs. You'll need white or orange grapes and they should be very sweet. If you have a refractometer, you can measure the sugar level when buying the grapes. Try to get grapes with at least 20 brix, which should give you around 10% alcohol in the final wine. I'm using 30 kilograms of grapes. Equipment. Here's what we need. A fermentation container suitable for your grape volume. After filling it, only about 1/3 of the top should remain empty. The container must be airtight. An airlock. A hydrometer or refractometer. A mesh or cloth straining bag. A siphon or clear hose. Dark glass bottles. Glass containers with lids for secondary fermentation. Once everything is ready, we can start. Sanitation. Before anything else, sanitize all equipment that will come into contact with the wine. I'm using food-grade sodium metabisulfite, following the manufacturer's instructions, but you can use any food-grade sanitizer. Just make sure you don't skip this step. Very important note. Your grapes must not be washed. They should be used exactly as they were harvested. Do not rinse them with water. This is extremely important. Washing the grapes can ruin the entire process. Crushing the grapes. Now comes the first and most fun part, crushing the grapes. Remove any leaves, insects, spider webs, rotten grapes, or anything extra. Once they're clean, it's time to crush. Depending on your grape volume, you can crush them by hand, use a crusher, or, like me, put on some clean boots and step on them. Make sure at least 90% of the juice is released. And remember, crush the grapes with the stems included. Now pour everything, juice, skins, stems, all of it into the fermentation container. If you crushed properly, it should look something like this. Gently mix it a bit, close the lid tightly, and make sure no air can get in. Attach the airlock and place the container in a spot with a temperature between 15 and 20 Celsius or 59 and 68 Fahrenheit. One more important thing. If your container is transparent, keep it in a dark place or cover it with a dark cloth. Light is not good for fermentation and can ruin the wine. Primary fermentation. Now the real work begins. Primary fermentation usually lasts 10 to 14 days, but during this time, we need to do something important. For the first 4 to 5 days, you should gently stir the mixture 3 to 4 times a day, pushing the grape skins back down into the liquid. This is very important. If the skins stay exposed to air for too long, they can develop mold, and that's bad. Just do it quickly and don't leave the lid open for too long. Otherwise, the wine can turn sour. After the amount of floating skins decreases, you can reduce this to twice a day. Fermentation usually starts within 1 or 2 days, and you'll see bubbles coming out of the airlock. After about 10 to 14 days, the skins will stop floating and settle at the bottom. That means primary fermentation is done. Straining. Before starting secondary fermentation, we need to separate the liquid from the solids. First, use a strainer to remove the wet skins. Then put them into the mesh bag and squeeze them well to extract as much liquid as possible. Try to do this as quickly as you can and avoid exposing the wine to air. Secondary fermentation. Transfer the strained wine into sanitized glass containers for secondary fermentation. Leave only about 1 to 2 centimeters of headspace, seal the lid tightly, and attach the airlock. Place the containers in a dark place at around 15 Celsius or 59 Fahrenheit. Secondary fermentation usually lasts about 30 days, and you'll still see bubbles from the airlock. After 30 days. Once secondary fermentation is complete, you have 2 options. Option 1, the professional way. Use a siphon or hose to transfer the clear wine into another container, leaving the sediment behind. Fill the container completely, seal it, and let it rest again in the same dark, cool place for another month. You can repeat this process several times until the wine becomes clear and crystal-like. This gives you a clear, mature, and well-balanced wine. Option 2, the fast way. If you don't want to wait, you can bottle the wine right after secondary fermentation. But keep in mind, the wine will be cloudy, sediment will form in the bottle over time, the flavor will be raw and undeveloped. So I really recommend being patient and enjoying your wine after a few months. Cheers! I've put Amazon links for all the equipment used in this video in the description. This channel uploads new videos every week about homemade drinks and professional home brewing techniques, so don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I read and answer all of them. Until the next tutorial, happy brewing!